I did this thing a little while ago. It was nothing to do with the telly show. And what it was Ian Lang was in charge of the DTI, and he had this idea to privatise the post office. And what he did, he was going to put out the business mail to competitive tender. Now, the business mail is all the stuff that subsidises the standard rate of a stamp. It's the junk mail. So if you lose that, you don't pay 26p for a first-class stamp, you pay mileage. So you might have to pay £5 to send a letter in Britain. And in my little way, I just thought, no. That shall not be. And so I actually managed to get hold of Ian Lang's home address. So I put it on the internet. And you know all the free post forms in newspapers and magazines? All you have to do, fill them out with his name and address, sit back and enjoy it. And people joined in big on this one. They really went for it. Like, people were writing in and just sort of leaving emails going, I've just sent 100 things off to Ian Lang. And I've sent off kind of like Benetton sweater catalogues, Stana chair lifts, holiday in Greece. And it's just, somebody actually said to me, I've just sent Ian Lang a Speak Afrikaans linguaphone tape. My brother-in-law, who's a very timid teacher, just came up to me and went, I've just sent Ian Lang a garden hedge trimmer on 10-day trial. And then we bumped into this bloke who works for BBC, and they said, oh, what are you doing? I said, I'm working with Mark Thomas. I said, oh, really? I know him. I said, oh, really? Why is that? He said, I used to work at Ian Lang's office. We know about him. And it explained what had happened. And the friend said, what happened then? How bad was it? He said, well, imagine if you can. Day one in the Lang household. The sun is rising, the birds are singing, toast is browning. And in the distance, the sound of a post office truck is heard. 6 bags on day one. 6 bags on day one. And in the middle of that is his community charge bill. Lang went along to the post office, and they obviously didn't like him very much at that time, the post office workers. And he said, look, I am a victim of a cruel hoax. I am being pranked in this evil, vile way. I am a victim, and we must stop this. We must put us 6 bags every day. Stop it now. It must be stopped. Do you understand? And I imagine they took great delight in saying, can't interfere with the Queen's Royal Mail, sir. Anyway, tonight's show. There's several things in tonight's show. The first one I want to talk about is a place called Menwith Hill. Menwith Hill is a US listening base in Britain. It's in Yorkshire. It's enormous. It's a place with a great big golf balls. It's like giant Tarby has found his pitch and putt heaven, you know. And it's an enormous place. It was set up in the 50s to spy on the Russians. Now that the Cold War's over, there should be no need for it. However, it's not shutting down, it's actually expanding. And the bulk of the work that they do is commercial spying on European companies, and on individuals, you know, people who have anti-American interests, like anyone who doesn't eat at McDonald's. You know, so it's that kind of, they've got the ability to tap into 100,000 phone lines at any moment. And it's a really scary, spooky place. And we thought, right, we want to play. We want to play with Menwith Hill, because it's officially RAF Menwith. Right, it's a British MOD site with an American base in the middle of it. And we thought, right, they've got to have a lease. They've got to have a lease, haven't they? And at some point, that lease has got to run out. Wouldn't it be great if we could get the details when the lease ran out on RAF Menwith and the listening base? We'll just roll up there, camera crew, couple of bailiffs, notice to quit. Right, you, take the Cadillac and fuck off home. And so we phoned up the MOD and said, is there a lease? And they said, oh, no. Well, you see, no, it's not as simple as that. You see, there was a lease, yeah. There was, I say, there's been, we've lost it. You've lost it? It's a fucking lease to an enormous Ministry of Defence site, and you've look in the file you keep your passport and birth certificate in. Go to the drawer with the little fuses, light bulbs and spare bits of fucking wire. It's in there under the blue tack. Have a look. No, well, it wasn't really. It was a lease of 10 years, so it doesn't matter. Go away. And we actually found out. I was talking to a bloke who knows, and we're looking at a map, and he goes, "Oh, that's interesting." I said, "What?" He said, "There." He said, Menwith Hill. I said, "Yeah." He said, "There's no flight restrictions over it." I said, "None whatsoever." "No, we're allowed to fly over it." I said, "In a hot air balloon?" He said, "Yeah, if you like." So basically we thought, right, what we're going to do is, because the thing that they hate is publicity, right, let's organise a balloon tour service and get as many people up and over Menwith Hill as we can. I had a quick feel of that material.
Oh, good, yes.
And it felt like it could go. Well, we've got interesting going over it, having a look, see what happens.
Oh, that's...
The inaugural flight of the Menwith Hill ballooning experience.
Quite right.
Going to show you Menwith Hill. It's a US listening base. It's on British soil. It's officially RAF Menwith. It's basically what's run out of there is a listening station. It's called the Big Ear, and it's run by the NSA. The staff there is enormous. They have something like nearly 2,000 members of staff there. In fact, I think it might be more than MI5, but MI5 aren't giving us their staffing details right at this moment, so I can't verify that. This was set up in the 50s to share information about spying and what was going on, and, you know, how to poison Cuban cigars and all that kind of thing, poisoned umbrellas, all that kind of stuff. But now, what you've got here is the Cold War's over and you have basically a commercial operation. People are listening into economic information, commercial information, eavesdropping on companies all over Europe, eavesdropping on individuals, tracking people who they would consider dissident subversives. And it works on key words. So if I had a telephone now was sort of rattling away going, "Oh, Colonel Gaddafi, Semtex, Libya, number 10 Downing Street, Jerry Adams, Peter Mandelson, AK-47, and all that kind of stuff, then they'd probably be listening, well, they might even be listening now. Hello, Mum? Mum, yeah, it's Mark. Colonel Gaddafi, Semtex, AK-47, Hezbollah, Martin McGuinness, Jerry Adams, the UDF, the UVA, Swampy, peace protesters, Delia Smith, shipment of arms, British aerospace, nuclear fuels. No, I'm not smoking, Mum, it's a balloon. I swear, I'm not smoking.
Big bird retrieved. You read over.
These are the white balls of deception, as I believe Will Carling is referred to. Do you realise if you dropped a sixpence from this height, you'd kill somebody? It's almost like the Millennium Dome had a litter, isn't it? Domelets.
Guys, with these slack winds, we're running a bit low on gas, so we'll want to be looking for a landing site in the next 5 minutes. Okay. What we'll do is just get over this